stories out there.
Reach out, be brave about the future. Think about how you can make a mark in this world and a positive contribution.
Well, my life story. Well, I was born at about 7 pounds, 6 ounces. Okay, not that far back. I never thought that I was going to be doing politics, electoral politics. I believed in movement, I believe in community. I believe that politicians see the light when they feel the heat.
The United States Congress is the legislative body of the federal government of the United States of America, consisting of two houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Both senators and representatives are chosen through direct election.
I'm Senator Harry Reid. I'm Majority Leader of the United States Senate.
I'm John Boehner, Republican Leader in the House.
I'm Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
Hello, I'm Mitch McConnell, Republican Leader of the United States Senate.
Each of the 435 members of the House of Representatives represents a district and serves a 2-year term. The 100 senators serve 6-year terms. Each state has 2 senators, depending upon the size of the state. Every 2 years, about 1/3 of the Senate is elected at a time.
I have been a Connecticut senator for 30 years.
If we ignore history, we're doomed to bail it out again.
I'm very proud of the job I've done.
Article 1 of the Constitution of the United States of America vests all legislative power in the Congress. The House and Senate are equal partners in the legislative process. Legislation cannot be enacted without the consent of both chambers. The Constitution grants each chamber some unique powers.
The President's speech was in
The Congress meets in the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. The current 111th Congress convened on January 6, 2009. But just a couple of years before that, in 2007, during the 110th Congress, along came a congressman from Minnesota, making history as America's first Muslim congressman, Congressman Maurice Ellison. Congressman, thank you so much for joining me.
Pleased to be here. How are you? Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam.
Alhamdulillah.
How are you feeling?
Very good. Thank God. Thank God I'm doing well today.
Congressman Keith Ellison is an American lawyer, a politician, and a Democrat who became the first Muslim to be elected to the United States Congress when he won the open seat for Minnesota's 5th Congressional District, which centers on Minneapolis, in the House of Representatives in 2006. He is also the first African American elected to the House from Minnesota, currently serving in the 111th United States Congress. Ellison is also active on a national level in advocacy for Muslims in the United States. What was your vision when you were growing up as a child?
Well, my vision was that I would try to make a contribution to advance civil and human rights, open up opportunity for people. I know it sounds like somewhat of an auspicious vision for a child, but I grew up in a household where the issues of civil rights were a constant conversation.
Keith Ellison's philosophy is one of generosity and inclusiveness. His roots as a community activist and his message of inclusivity through democratic participation resonates throughout the 5th District. His priorities in Congress are promoting peace, prosperity for working families, and promoting civil and human rights.
My mother was raised by a man who was a civil rights leader in the 1950s in America, and my mother grew up in the southern states of the United States where she herself had to endure the whites only signs and went to segregated schools and so forth. So when I grew up in the city of Detroit, Michigan, this issue of civil rights, human rights was a big deal, and it was something that I aspired to as a child, to try to play a role in that, which is why I ended up becoming a lawyer, working on civil rights cases, and then went into politics.
Mr. Ellison is recognized for 60 minutes.
Ellison serves on the Financial Services and Foreign Affairs Committee. The Financial Services Committee provides oversight for the nation's housing and financial services sector. while the Foreign Affairs Committee oversees the country's diplomatic affairs. But the question one might ask is, so what if he's the first Muslim congressman? But this question becomes interesting when you're born and raised as a Christian and now as a convert working in the United States Senate.
Sir, prove to me that you are not working with our enemies.
Well, let me tell you, the people of the 5th Congressional District know that I have a deep love and affection for my country. There's no one who is more patriotic than I am.
Was it difficult for you, growing up as a Roman Catholic and then reverting to Islam?
Well, you know, I've come from an amazingly tolerant family when it comes to religion. You know, the biggest controversy when I told my family that I was Muslim was that my mother was disturbed that I wasn't going to eat some of the foods that I now could not eat as a Muslim, you know. I remember it was a Thanksgiving dinner. You know, in the United States we have a Thanksgiving holiday. And my mother had prepared some ham and I didn't take any, and she asked me why, and I said, well, I'm a Muslim. And that's the first she heard of it. And so she found that to be somewhat disturbing a little bit. But after that, everyone accommodated everybody, and now it's just fine. In fact, when I was sworn in on the Quran, my brother, who's a Baptist minister, and my mother, who's Catholic, were right there with me and were very supportive.
Allah Akbar.
It was evidence that in America you could practice your faith as you choose.